Let's talk about schools. They're on the mind of every parent with a kid in school. They're on the mind of educators. They're on the mind of employers. We're all thinking about how we can return to a more normal life in the next semester, the winter and spring semester that's coming up. This has been an incredibly challenging year for students, for educators, for children. Uh, I'm deeply committed, as you know, with to children's education. That's my background. I was a superintendent of a school. I was served as chair of the State Board of Education. I was the ranking member on the committee in Washington, the K-12 Education Subcommittee, and I helped rewrite the federal education law, replacing No Child Left Behind with the Every Student Succeeds Act. So this is a big part of my passion, my background. A lot of my philanthropic effort was in education during my years in the private sector as well. And we know that what has been occurring this last semester simply hasn't worked for too many kids, for too many teachers, for too many parents. And we can and we must do better. Now, there's some good news. 10 months into this pandemic, we've learned a lot about the virus, about infection patterns, and we now know that schools are relatively low risk environments for kids and for educators. That's wonderful and welcome news. And they can be a safe place when the safety measures are taken and layered on one another to be able to create a safe working environment for teachers, a safe environment for kids. Won't have the same access that parents normally have, to the classroom. There's drop-offs and ways of a very limited ability to enter the school. But at least the basic academic and social piece that kids need to thrive and that public health benefit from the schools can be recognized. Learning loss is just, it's a real problem that kids are facing. And it's even more severe for those who are already at risk, vulnerable, low income, people of color, rural Coloradans, or those who don't have access to reliable internet at home or a reliable workspace or device at home. That's why last month I launched the Back to School Working Group to examine how Colorado students across our state can return safely to in-person learning in the upcoming winter and spring semester. This working group is a diverse set of voices. It's parents, it's teachers, superintendents, school board members, health officials, paraprofessionals, really coming together. And they've all spent so much time on this, and I'm so grateful for the thought leadership coming together for this roadmap that we're presenting today on how to get kids successfully back to school in the next semester. The roadmap to in-person learning is being released today. We're getting it out. It uses data, science, transparency. We've identified the very specific action steps and key areas that will enable schools to open safely while prioritizing the health of students and staff. It includes prioritizing testing for schools, expanding contact tracing capacity for schools, continued mask wearing, regular symptom screening, effective cohorting, continued social distancing, and effective ventilation. It can be as simple as a window being open or other ventilation, continued hand washing, and of course, these are complementary. That means that if you just did one of these things, if you just said, we're going to screen symptoms, but you didn't do the mask, you didn't do the cohorting, you did the hand washing, it likely wouldn't be enough. Many schools could be back. But when you do these things on top of one another, you wear a mask, parents screen for symptoms ideally. If parents aren't doing it well, it's done at the school. Anybody with symptoms is given a test, focusing on contact tracing priority altogether. Frankly, this creates one of the safest work environments in the state, in school. They will have more safety than most of us have in office environments or manufacturing environments or anything else. And we do owe that to our kids and our teachers. We're also recommending that school-sponsored activities like athletics and music and art, science fairs, theater, only occur once the kids are back. Full-time or hybrid in-person is underway with minimal disruptions. We want to make sure that just having that extracurricular piece is not a substitute for kids being in school during the day. Of course, those all are absolutely essential and critical and add so much to that learning experience. But the school should be back for at least hybrid, if not full in person, before they add on all those extracurricular activities, because they are meant to complement and make the academic piece more meaningful. They're not meant to, of course, replace the academic piece. It's going to take all of us to ensure that our kids can safely return to school. It's not just up to educators and school staff, but students and parents to be responsible, entire communities. Mask wearing, social distancing help our schools return. So if saving your own life and your loved ones and protecting yourself isn't enough of a reason to avoid socializing wherever possible and wear a mask, making sure that we care about the next generation is yet another reason why we should do this.